Hello and good evening, everyone. We survived another week, didn't we? We already got quite a few people in here. If you are here or if you're watching us later, give us a like and comment on the video as well if you can. It lets YouTube and the algorithm know you like the work we're doing, even if the comments only to say hi, see you next week. Heck, you got an idea for a video or something you might want us to talk about in a live stream or a roundtable? Drop that down there too. Anything at all. Just keep it nice, polite, and respectful. Don't get nasty down there. You know what I mean? Um, Hope you all are doing well. Let's see here. Who we got in here already? Creator, good to see you. Rose, welcome. Glad you can make it to your first live stream. Mr. T, welcome. Jade, good to see you as always. Shar, welcome as well. Angela, oh, there you go. There's that ever famous PG-13. Thank you for those, Angela. Thank you. You all tend to remember the stuff before I do. You know what I mean? Let's see. Maria, good to see you. Little Earth Dragon, welcome back. Aaron, hello. GK, welcome. And I'd also like to send a special thanks out to all our YouTube channel paid members as well as our Patreon members. Thank you for supporting the channel and making possible for us to continue to do the things that we do in the actually try to do more even. So we do highly appreciate that. Those of you who are channel members, tier 2 and tier 3, your spell workings and everything are getting ready to take off. You all know about that. We sent that announcement out. And I've been collecting the tier 3 customizations. And all channel members and Patreon members, you should, if you haven't seen it already, there is a new Adventures of Bob and Ace comic that has already been posted. So if you haven't, go check that out. I'm personally loving the artists and everything are doing a great job. So, and I don't know if the artist wants me to give him a shout out or not. I would totally do it, but I don't want to embarrass him either. So there we go. Welcome, Saeed. Hey, Valsar, welcome back. Glad to see you. So it has been a busy week here. One of the things that I should say, so I've told a few people around server and everything, especially in the Gilded community. If you're not a member of the Gilded community, consider joining it. It's a lot of fun, a lot of great people, some casual conversations, a lot of it's research. It is a teaching server, so do remember that. But after the move, before the move, I should say, I actually had to sell my vehicle at the time because we didn't want to drive 2 vehicles during the move. And it became apparent quicker than I had thought that I actually needed to have 2 vehicles for this household. And on that, my wife is like, well, let's get it going. Let's figure it out. So I did some spell working because the vehicle I wanted is apparently very, very hard to find around here. Go figure, right? I did that spell working, and this week we actually got the vehicle. So that manifested uber quickly. We got exactly what we wanted and a lot more. Really good price and rates. So yay for magical results on that one. And I'll admit, I'm loving it. Though this is my first vehicle with I got to make fun of me, people. I'm not bragging. I'm making fun of me. Let me be clear here. But this is my first vehicle with the push button keyless start thing. I keep getting in and forgetting how to start my vehicle. I do. Me and the wife had to switch the cars around the other day, and I got in. I'm like, wait, what's wrong? And then I was like, oh yeah. And then I pushed the button. It didn't do it. And I was like, oh yeah, I got to have the brake pushed. So then I'm pushing the brake and I'm adapting. I'm a caveman in a digital age. I'm adapting. We're working on it. You know what I mean? But I am loving it. I cannot thank X Boonwell enough for helping me get the exact vehicle I wanted yet again. This is actually the 3rd time I've done this ritual. This time, this was a really big one for me in my notes in my journal because the last 2 times I've done it, the economy was good. This time the economy's kind of crappy. I won't get political, but let's be honest, it's kind of crappy. So I was wondering if I could get the same results, even aiming higher in a crappy economy. And we did. We absolutely did. So I'm just tickled to death on that. Wanted to share that. That's one of my little successes over the week. But it has been a busy week. Let's see if I'm missing anything here. Draymond from where he used to live. Yeah, I did move from where I used to live. So that's one of the reasons. Like, I think somewhere I showed a pic. I think it was a YouTube short. I did a picture of the new office before I moved everything in. I'm still kind of putting it together, so the off screen's a little messy. I may show the final put together of my office once I get everything better organized. Right now it does kind of look like a wizard's workshop because I got things piled and stacked and whatnot, and a few things that aren't even supposed to be in the office haven't been placed where I need to get them yet. But once I get the office finished, and I won't say prettied up because I'm pretty Spartan in the way I do things. I just put kind of what I need only. So, but once I get it finished, I might give you guys a shot of what that office room looks like when it's finished. So, which, I mean, all of you already know that, like this right here, it's just a nice little backdrop that I keep. So, actually, I had someone email me telling them I'm not fooling anybody. They know that's not a real library behind me. I'm like, no crud. I say it's a tapestry all the time. I'm not, it's like if somebody thought that was real, I'd probably be more concerned. Any hootie. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Let's see what else happened this weekend. Ran the smoker, did a brisket, turned out great. My wife has decided I need to do more briskets. And weirdly, somehow I realized since I got my smoker like 2-3 years ago, this particular smoker anyway, I don't think I've ever done a brisket. And luckily my wife ain't upset about that. But now that she's had one, I think I'm going to be doing more briskets for her. That's just how that goes. Luckily, she enjoyed it. So there was that. And then got a new wall tent, and we tried to set that up this week. We did get it set up, but it was the first time set up. I don't know if any of y'all have ever tried to set up a wall tent. These things are huge. There's a learning curve to the individual tent. So we got it put up and everything. We got it set up. It was looking great. No major defects in it or anything. We're really, really happy. But both me and her agree we're going to try and set it up again this following weekend. Because during the setup, did you ever have those aha moments that are completely retroactive? You're already past where it would be useful, but now you have the thought. Well, we had quite a few of those after we took it down and we were talking. So, yeah, we're going to apply those and see if it goes up quicker and easier this time. Because we got that for longer extended campouts as well as winter camping because I love to get out in the woods. I love to do ritual work, meditations, just get out there where it's quiet. And she likes to go with me, and I don't mind her going with me, but I want her to be comfortable. She gets colder than me. So I wanted to get a nice wall tent. I could put a wood stove in for her. And be honest, I kind of wanted to get me a nice cot, get me up off the ground a little myself, put some room in there. So I think if it's just me, my one person tent, I could probably squeeze my cot in there if I kind of got a little catawampus with it. And, I could probably pull it off. But with two people, you can't do that. So there's that. Anyway. So that has been my week. After taking the tent down, I realized my back does not handle to being bent over playing with tent poles for an hour well anymore. So I want to target my back with my workouts a little bit more. But that's all well and good there. So, yeah, I think that's my week. In a nutshell, sort of. Yeah, we'll go with that. Few things with the vocation course that I would like to probably bring up and then update you all with. But let's check here with what you all got because I've been rambling. And you guys are part of this conversation too, right? I don't want to be rude. I'm so glad everyone is here. Uber quickly was that. Uber quickly was huge. Violet mini hugs. Track mine. Yeah, moved. Retracted. What's with all the retracted messages? Okay. Angela, everyone have recommendations on different ways to set up a cord cutting. I'm a little nervous to do the candle string way, Angela. Cord cuttings, yeah, there's a lot of different ways. I need to actually, have I not done a video on that? I really need to do a video on that. You know what? I'm going to add a video to that right now. That's a great video. And I was actually thinking what videos I'll start filming next. I'll make that one of them. Anywho, we're not going to leave you hanging, Angela. So what I like to do for cord cuttings is I will either use meditation or either astral sanctum work. These are actually my two favorite ways to do it. More often than not, I prefer just astral sanctum. I really do. And what I do is I put myself into a meditative state where I can examine myself fully and like just spin the little camera around, think video games, spinning your camera around, examining yourself, seeing where all the cords are. Same thing in your astral sanctum. Then when I find that particular cord, I will start with doing the Dragon's Flame ritual. I should say that. Skip that. Sorry about that, Angela. I'm tired today. But start with doing the Dragon's Flame ritual. And then examine, find any cords, any of them. Don't care. Just find them. Now, the first time you do this, you want to just cut all the cords and literally just take the Dragon's Flame, move it around, and burn, 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 burn. You're cutting the cords with that fire. One of the reasons I will say this is cords are, people's like, how do I know if it's a negative cord or a positive cord? Very simple. If it's a cord, it's negative. Okay. There is a unhealthy binding of energy there. Healthy energy between two loved ones, even between spouses, will not create a cord because there's a natural energetic understanding that even without contact of a cord is fully in unity always. That's the best way I can describe it. So if there's a cord, get rid of it. Now here's the thing. Once you cut it, especially with the Dragon's Flame ritual, focus a little bit on it. Think of it being cauterized and sealed off. That's also very important. Beauty about the Dragon's Flame ritual is we're going to be cleansing. We're going to be protecting. We're going to be doing all those wonderful things with this ritual. Now, here's the big one. A lot of people's like, this person's being super negative in my life. I don't like them. I'm going to do a cord cutting. I'm tired of their energetic influence. Great. Awesome. I support that. Downside, you need to stay away from them. You don't need to email them. You don't need to phone call them. You don't need to be around them. Because if you do, if you get around them, if you contact them, if you email them, that cord can snap back into place. That's just how it is. You have to put time and distance between there to fully break. Like there's like almost an energetic magnetism to snap it back. So you need to separate that as much as possible. If that's not possible, you need to begin to set your shields specifically to prevent those reattachments. And you need to make sure those shields are constantly up and running when you're around them and make sure they're refreshed as much as possible. Is this a lot of work? Yes. But it's also one of those things that's kind of very important. And the longer the person's been in your life, the harder it is to let that fade down. So the longer you need to be rid of them. And if all possible, like I've had people in my life, it's like cord cutting, they won't hear from me. I won't answer their text. I won't contact them. Believe me, when I'm done with a person, I'm done with you. You are dead to me. I can be a little cold like that, but I don't take negative, toxic, backstabbing, betrayal people lightly. They're pretty much the scum of the earth. That's why I keep a very small circle of friends. But that would be the quick rundown, Angela. I don't know if that helps you or not. I don't know if that makes sense because I am tired. It's making sense in my head. My wife made me some fierce coffee. It's like double caffeinated from Iron Bean because she's like, you're dragging, buddy. You need some help. I'm like, all right. So she made this for me. It's good. It seems to be working too. So, hope that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, Angela, hit me up on Gilded. I'll try and clarify more or give it a try. If nothing else, the video will be coming. And thank you for the video idea. Love it. Creator Drake, your shield isn't finished. Different. I keep getting requests from different gods and goddesses and dragons. Creator, I was looking into how you would get that to me at this time and place. I have not found a way to get it to me. So we may run into a problem there. You may actually have to potentially keep it for yourself. I have enjoyed the pics. I thought I emailed you back. I may not have emailed you back. If I didn't email you back, I apologize. It has been crazy around here. But I am still attempting to find something as to like a P.O. box or something, or a place that can be shipped. But it is difficult for reasons that I don't know if I'm allowed to share, so I can't share. Because until I get clear, I can't, But there are difficulties we're running into. And if you're wondering, it's like, well, just give me your home address. That ain't going to happen because I'll be honest. Safety of my family kind of matters. It's not that I'm worried about you, but there has been other people in the past that people be crazy. Let's just be honest. We all know it. But the work on it is, it's beautiful. Be proud. So if they are making those requests, consider it, and consider you keeping it for yourself and using it, mate. I mean, it's a great shield. It really is. Let's see. Where was on that one? Got that one done. Got terror. In other words, you do the cord cutting, but you have to put in the work and effort to keep the perk. Yeah. Doing a cord cutting, it's going to sever the energetic connection. True. It's going to reduce the magnetic energy exchange. It's just there through the cord 24/7. True. But you yourself have to also separate yourself. So your thoughts will still drift to this person, especially like if you're mad at them. Like when I'm mad at somebody, I'll just be sitting there doing something, chilling, just relaxed as can be. And then my anger about, and that person pops in my head. You got to push them out of your brain. Just push them out of there. They're not worth your time to think about. They're not worth the time to text. They're not worth, all that crap. You got to do it. It is hard. It is hard, especially when someone has been a part of your life or something, whether positive or negative. Like, honestly, when I get upset at a person, it's like betrayal is one of the reasons I hate them so much, is because I trusted this person. I cared about them. I let them in, right? Part of me is mad at myself for trusting them as much as I am them, and that makes it really hard to let go. But you got to let go. You have to let go. And when you're asking yourself, has it been long enough? Well, the question is, if you're asking yourself that, no. Because when it's been long enough, you will have gone on, you will have not thought about this individual for the longest time. It's going to be the dumbest thing that brings them to your mind. And only when that massive gap of you just didn't consider their existence, that's when you're good. So there you go. Hope that helps a little. Jade, drop the gilded link. Thank you very much, Jade. I probably should have asked you for that sooner, shouldn't I have? Yes, I should have. But thank you for getting that. No need to apologize, Drake. We get tired. Thank you, Angela. I do appreciate it. Can you create a cord cutting exhibit yourself? Something like, no, you cannot, creator. You cannot. That's one of the big things with self-mastery. You can't hack the self. You can't. Just like with spell work. A lot of people keep wanting to do more and more and more and more and more. They'll do a spell to do the thing, and then they're like, well, I need to do this spell for the exact same thing. The problem with this methodology is every time you do a spell, because this wasn't enough, you're telling yourself you're not enough. You're telling yourself you don't have the ability to manifest it. You're telling yourself that spell isn't able to manifest it, which just pulls power away from your working. Anytime I do a working for anything, including this little car out here, well, actually, it's not little, but anyway, including the car out here, I do one spell. I set it in motion. I let it go. It runs its full course before I even reconsider it, period. If there's a problem I'm approaching from different angles, when I say different angles, each spell is affecting something very specific. Very specific. I don't constantly do multiple spells for the same thing. That's just taking away from it. Somebody will be like, well, Drake, what about your prosperity spell? That's one spell for the same thing, and you keep doing that over and over. That's an ongoing single working. That's a little different. So again, look at how that is set up. I'm doing one spell for one thing. I'm building my prosperity, and I'm not squeezing extra ones in. I have a very set time frame for each working um, that I do it. And I'm pretty sure in that video I laid out the process. Start with daily, move to weekly, move to monthly. You know, um, depending on the rate in which you need to build that prosperity. So, but as far as can you just hack yourself and cut your doubt? No, because you generate your own doubt. You have to literally master the self. You have to understand that you can do it. And that is a hard one. But it takes time. It takes practice. And with practice, with notes, that's one reason, again, I harp on that journal. Keep that journal, keep records, and keep them as accurate as you can, because that's how you see the manifestations the easiest, written down on paper in front of you. And that goes from the subjective, I think it worked. Did it work? Maybe it worked. Well, what about this? To, okay, look, I have a record. I have specifications. I didn't leave it all vague. Um, and that actually will show you those manifestations. And then, just like your ability to play a video game, you can play the video game because you did it. It's the same thing. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to doubt it. You did it. That journal is the best way to remove your doubt. Let's see. And we got 18 people in here and only 8 thumbs up. That's 10 people who have not hit the thumbs up. People, hit the thumbs up. It lets YouTube know you like the work we're doing here, and we'd appreciate it. Even if you think I'm ugly, please hit thumbs up. Let's see. I made the journal for you because you're an elder in my life. I respect you and your knowledge and wisdom, and really I can make a copy of the astral that's terrifying to give it to you directly. I would definitely take the astral copy. Yes, that would definitely work. That would definitely work if you're cool with that one. Like I said, I've been running into some issues, but I do appreciate it, and I'm glad I can be of help, and I'm honored you view me as such. Thank you. See, a lot of people's going to get all updated and be like, you think I'm old? I'm an elder? I don't mind that. That's a title of respect. I've never viewed myself as an elder because, well, y'all know I see myself as a stupid redneck. But if I viewed myself as it, that's arrogance and ego. How you all see me, I get that. That's respect. That's cool. I appreciate it, people. Senator Disorder, greetings, Drake. And hey, Senator, good to see ya. I don't know if you saw Drake. I painted this table with Expoonwell sigil in the Gilded chat, but let me know what you think of it, Drake. I think I did see it. I didn't get a comment on it, but I did see it. It looked pretty good. I liked it, honestly. Let's see, Tara, might it be okay to share your knowledge on... I love them lots, please. I mean, wyverns by and large they're more animalistic than anything. Are they interesting looking creatures? Yes, but they are very animalistic, bestial in nature, predators. They're not dragons. I know a lot of people confuse them. They are not. But you have them pop up in different varieties through mythology, some with a stinger, some without a stinger. Outside of, I mean, they do come in various color patterns, even mixed patterns, but I'm not sure what you're looking for on that. I'm wanting to do a deep dive in some of the mythology and lore on them and like the anatomy and whatnot, if I can, and some places where they've popped up. But I don't know if that helps any. I mean, they are a really cool critter. There's no doubt. They don't originate from a single pantheon or realm. You will actually find wyverns in several places. Um, so, as far as their origin, wyverns have largely been put in and created in various places. Um, and as far as an origin point, there is no one singular origin point for them, unfortunately. Or at least one I've not been able to track down so far. So far, they're not viewed to have one. I keep asking that question, but Mystery T, hey, love your work. Can you recommend any simple rituals for me to find a guardian dragon? Mystery T, there is actually a very simple guided meditation right here on the channel. Go to the video section and type in guardian dragon and dragon's flame ritual. Get the dragon's flame ritual, get that down, get the guardian dragon meditation, and you're good to go, mate. It don't get no simpler than that. It's even a guided meditation. The only other way it can get any easier is if you go to Dragon Magic 101 and purchase the full course with the path working. So let's see. We jumped. Can you work with wyverns? You could. You could work with wyverns. I actually know a few individuals who work with wyverns for different reasons. Usually it deals with hunting, think anything involving with predators, motion, movement, survival instincts, those kinds of things. They're pretty potent there. So those are areas where they can. Some people work with them in shamanic practices, almost like a spirit totem, much like one would work with wolf medicine or raven medicine or the like, to embody those for different traits. In my initial, I'd have to pull my notes because it's been a really long time since I tinkered in those areas, but I just didn't like it. There was just something, I don't even know how to explain it. There was just something off about it. I didn't like it. And I've worked with a lot of animals and predators, so it's not because the animal's a predator, because most of the animals I enjoy working with would be predators. So I'm not really sure, but there are a few who do. It's just like, it's one of those things I want to go back when I have time to dive into deeper, Maria, and figure out more about it. But also getting in there and doing that is one of those things where, in order to get in there and do that, I also have to have the time and those kinds of things. And I just right now don't know that I do have that, unfortunately. And hopefully I will get it soon and be able to flesh it out better, if that makes some sense. But it has been a while. So even without freshening up my brain and WD-40 and the hinges to unlock that particular box of info, I need my journals. Let's see. And the knight slays him, and then from his horse hugging the wyvern. What? Let's see. Angela, I only heard one wyvern story about a girl who raised wyvern in the forest, grew up being gentle with her, but attacked people. Her parents, someone hurting her. Ah. Let's see. Can you take something from a different plane of existence with permission to into this one? Would it change shape, etc.? That is a philosophical debate that will corkscrew down, because by and large, there's what a lot of magicians refer to as the ethereal astral wall. So when we talk about using magic and shaping something in the astral plane, you shape it and you bring it as close to this plane as you can. It bumps up against this wall, but it doesn't spontaneously create. What you're doing is you're creating an energetic pattern to call it to you. That exact same effect, like if you go pick a flower in the Feywild, it's not going to come with you. It's going to hit that same wall. And in order to shift a item from those planes to this plane, you're actually going to have to figure out portals. And I don't mean energetic portals. I mean physical portals. And if you do that, you're rich, let's be honest, because you're going to be able to say all the sailors on an aircraft carrier can stay every night with their families because they can just step through the portal and be home, and then step through the portal and be at work. And as someone who is married to a wonderfully wonderful sailor who I'm very proud of her, that would be freaking awesome. That'd be freaking awesome. But that's not the case, because there is no difference. If you're going to bring something from one plane to the other, physically, you need a physical portal, period. So that is a theoretical only at this point. And if anyone on here is about to say, well, such and such person says they can spontaneously create this or that or this or that, I have put well over $4,000 before up against at least 100 people that have made that same claim, and everyone has failed. I'm always open to the possibility that a human will discover it. I've just never seen proof of it. And until I see proof, I don't take anything on faith. You all know that. So a lot of people say a lot of things, but that doesn't make it accurate. That doesn't make it right. That doesn't make it true. That doesn't even make it functional. And that's kind of where I'm at. And that's one of the reasons I run this channel the way I do. You all know this channel is like, I'm going to present you with information. I'm going to present you with stuff you can try, but put it to the test, apply it. Look at our intro, real occult knowledge so you can manifest real and tangible results. See that? Real tangible results. Apply it. Get the result. Don't take my word for it. Apply it and see. Apply and see. That is one of the big ones there. And that's kind of how I run this channel. I don't want you to just take my word for it. I want you to apply and see, which you all do. The amount of emails I get of people who have completely and utterly changed their lives by applying makes it the reason I keep doing videos. I keep showing up to live streams even when tired, because I do enjoy them. But at the same time, if you guys were getting no benefit from this, you're not going to come in here and watch a goofy redneck like me. And it's so much work if you guys weren't seeing the results. And I don't know that I'd keep doing it. I know that if I was doing magic and didn't get results, I'd quit. Because many of you know I started doing magic to prove it didn't work, because I was so fed up with my spirituality, with faith. I was leaving the church. I was leaving paganism. I was leaving everything. I was just like, screw it. But there was this one side. Like, there was one question left. It's like, is magic truly a arcane science, or is it just a bunch more faith crap? And okay, for those who have faith, understand this time I was fighting with my faith. So that's what I said. I do understand the power of faith. I understand it works for some people, not me. So just putting that in there. And I began to test it. And I had already told myself, I set up my testing. I set up everything. I was like, if I don't get the results, I'm done. Close the books. It didn't happen that way. I actually started getting results, big, huge results, by following a process. And that really changed everything. So that's why to this day, am I a man of faith? No. Am I spiritual? No. Do I believe magic works? Yes. But I'm also that magician that like I've seen a lot of people, they get all uppity and, if you say like entities are a psychological thing and they're not real, you're so wrong. How dare you say that? I don't really care. I did start to think they were psychological, but through my interactions, I have shifted, which I did a video on this. You all probably seen it, where I ask if entities are real or just a psychological. And I described my evolution from where I thought it was psychological to moving to I do believe they are real, and why. And I also said at that video, if the ritual, if the process is working, if you're manifesting the result you want, whether they're psychological or real doesn't even matter at the end anyway. So, but I love theory. I love research. One of the things the admin, I don't know if they like it or not. Like, we get into some theoretical, off the wall, crazy conversations. What ifs, maybes. One of the admins really big on science like me, and he starts talking, particle accelerator stuff and all this. And I'll be honest, he's far more brushed up on his science than I am. But I'm far more brushed up on arcane lore. So him and I go back and forth about different things. And would we ever see anything actually come of it? I don't know, because we're talking what ifs and theoreticals. But until someone actually pursues, tests, and manifests and proves, that's all it is. It's theoretical. It's not even a theory. It's a hypothesis, maybe. But it's fun to talk about. Da, 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 da. Persona. Well, I did a video on Persona. You can go check that out. Let's see, another Goetic king I like. I think my favorite Goetic kings to work with are either Paimon or Belial. Though weirdly, I found myself working more with Belial. I've always thought it'd be Paimon I ended up working most with, but it tends to be Belial. And I think this is his uber focus on freedom, self-empowerment, and like no matter what you're doing, I absolutely love it. Like you go to him and say, hey man, I need your help with this. And he's like the first one's like, I'm going to help you help yourself. And I just love his mentality and how just he can be about that. Like he will be the first one to thunk you in the head over it. I adore working with him. In fact, in the evocation course, I actually did an evocation for a client, which I got permission with Belial. And due to the spacing and how long it's been, I've actually been able to get some confirmations and everything, and during the review of that too, which was very fun. But yeah, I've always enjoyed Belial. The odd thing is, as much as I love working with the Goetic entities, I don't work with them as much anymore. I do spend a lot more time in my Norse area as well as in the with the dragons. The dragons are my foundation. Working dragonistic, right? And with me doing the courses and stuff, my focus is going to be on what I'm doing with the course as well as that. The evocation course has been fun because I've been able to touch base with so many entities I haven't touched base with in so long. Belial being one of them. Or in the case of the Goetic series, anytime I do those, I make sure I got my notes. I always go to them, show them my notes, show them and ask them if there's anything they want me to add, present. They get final editing choices. But that's one reason I love doing it, because these are friends that I just, due to work, due to life and how it goes, I don't get the chance to touch base with them as often as I'd like. I get the feeling there's a lot of people who think that I am working with hundreds of entities and staying in touch with them 24/7 somehow. I don't have that kind of time. I don't. I just don't. That's one reason I'm glad entities don't see the time the same way we do, because you may have to wait till I die to get me to call you if it's not business related. I'm a workaholic like that. So hope that helps a little. All right, let's see. So see, if it's not an exact replica, that's not a physical transition. That is that would be something that either manifested resembling it. That could even be chalked up as coincidence. I wouldn't actually label that as a full physical transition there. Oh, the dragons know how, and it's not the amount of energy it would require; it's the amount of focus and manipulation and control. Which right now I don't know any humans that have that control. This is actually weirdly a conversation I've had with a few lords and ladies of the Fae. We think in amounts of raw energy, which is, as they politely said, the fallacy of humans. Everything has to be large amounts of energy, and that's why we will never master control of energy. Which was like, damn, that cut. But that's also kind of why I like working with the Fae. They have no problems talking about the ignorance of humans. Of course, that means the ignorance of me too. So it's not the quantity; it's the quality of the work. Tara, I have to go. Sadly, have hamburgers on the barbecue with family. Hey, enjoy the hamburgers. Hamburgers are good. Have fun with the family too. Let's see. Grammar's the only one. Hey, there's no reason. You work with the ones you work with. Like I have been asked a lot what pantheon people should work with. I don't even work with the pantheon. It's like work with the entity you work with. So like I consider myself lucky to say I could work with the Norse because there's so many freaking entities on the Norse pantheon that I get along with. Are there entities over there I don't get along with? Frick yeah, plenty of them. And I don't work with them, so bugger off. And then there's entire pantheons, or there's pantheons, I should say, where I'd say 90% of them, I just, as a general thumb, I say I don't work with that pantheon because there may only be one or two entities over there I may even talk to. The rest of them, I don't give them time of day. And the goetic spirits are the same. If you don't see a reason to work with them, don't. But like some people's like, if you want to work with the goetic, you have to work with all 72. No, you don't. I know a lot of people who never will work with the ones you want. Now, is there a benefit to path working the 72? Well, yeah, if you're doing a specific path working or something where working with them all has a purpose and a reason, and you've chosen to do that path work, that's different. You're, again, making that choice of what to work with. So, some people try to overdo things, I think. Let's see. Center Touch Tarot. Drake. Whenever I do the Dragon's Flame ritual, there are other beings who also appear with messages. That is actually pretty normal, yes. So dragons, as far as we have found, I've not found a grouping of entities directly that dragons don't work with. I always say it that way because if I find one, I'm going to have to, actually list one. Because of that, and you got to understand, the Dragon's Flame ritual is not calling the rulers to you. It's not an evocation of the rulers. There's a lot of people who make that mistake. You're calling a small portion of the ruler's energy to you, okay? But that energy's coming in, it's cleansing, it's protecting, it's empowering the area, but it's also bringing a balance to the area. A balance that actually is in connection with the multiverse, right? So if you have that connection, you have that protection, you have that cleansing, you have that empowerment, you've just created a perfect communication tower, if you will, for the multiverse. This allows you to do the work you want to do. This is why it's become my go-to ritual, because unless there's just thematically something I want to do, because thematic, it is my go-to because it can get anything else done I need it to do. And since it can tap into other entities, if there are other entities that are, like protection wouldn't mean anything doing you harm and getting in. Don't worry about that. But if other entities, want to send you a hi, how you doing? How's your mama? They can do that. Actually, first time hell reached out to me was through the Dragon's Flame ritual. That was weird. Did not expect that one, but that's okay. And she actually reached out to me about 2 weeks before I was planning to reach out to her. But so that is actually perfectly normal because of that. And it also helps to bring you into that center, that mindset, and that trance state where information is collectible. I hope that makes sense. We'll miss you too, Tara. Any tips on discerning the entities you speak to? I find entities come to me. I rarely go to anyone. They just come with messages and leave. Never bother me to words. It's odd, to be honest. Honestly and truly, most of them like that are generally ancestral or human spirits in most cases. It's like, here's some information. Good luck. They're messenger spirits. Though there are messenger spirits that aren't necessarily human. But but that's what they are. They're messenger entities that may be sending messages for whatever reason, and they know you'd be open to receiving. Then there's the fact that the multiverse itself, some people will say the multiverse itself is often like the Force in Star Wars, and if you learn to listen to it, you can hear it. So it might not even be an entity. You might just be tuning into your own perception, and your own perception, like, okay, is pulling the information in the form of a voice or a message. And this is kind of the true core of divinations. Everybody thinks divinations is tarot cards, oracle cards, pendulum, a scrying mirror, your runes. It's the divination tool. Horse shit. And sorry, because I understand a lot of people love their tarot tools, and that's great. True divination is the ability to reach into the very ether and just pluck the information straight out. You guys have seen me do this if you pay attention. Like, you will ask me a question and it's like, and then suddenly there's just like this encyclopedia of information. I am doing pretty much that. Now that's not to say I can do it reliably. God knows I wish I could. But it is a point where I don't really reach for divination tools often anymore, because that's the divination muscle I'm really trying to work. But when you're in a ritual state, when you're in trance, when you're in meditation, any of these things, your mind is getting into that frame to where you are open to the information, and you're pulling things and you're perceiving information. Ooh, hope that didn't pick up. And that can also be part of where those messages are coming from. Don't know if that helped or not. And again, that's why, discerning the entities, like if it just shows up, delivers a message. This sounds cold and this sounds horrible, especially being a Southerner, but most people don't know who their mailman is. Let's be honest. You ain't got time to get to know a messenger you're never going to see again. It's that simple. I met a lot of wonderfully nice, amazing people during the move while we were traveling, whether it be restaurants, gas stations, hotels, wherever it was. I don't remember their name because I had a great interaction. I met this nice person, but at the same time, the odds of me ever bumping into them ever again is astronomical. They know it. I know it. Hopefully we made each other's day a little bit better. Hopefully. That's my hope. Will they remember me? I don't know. It's the same concept. Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, I'm at the point where outside my higher end dragon magic work, I almost don't reach for a tool anymore. Actually, I can't remember the last time I did reach for a tool. Just because that's where I'm at. And I mean, again, if you love your tarot cards, if you love your pendulums, that's fine. I'm not saying you shouldn't. But those tools go so far, and from a magician's developmental research and growth, the philosophical ideal here is there's a certain wall, a certain ceiling that the tools can get you. And if you take the tool away, you take away the ability to get clear divinations. So the thought process is the magician doesn't want to be dependent on the tool. They want to be, if you took everything away from them, they still are the power. They still are the focus. And they also have the skill. So if you take everything away from them, put them in a little 5x5 cell, you've taken no power from them. That's kind of the philosophical mentality for pushing past those points. And then that goes down a larger rabbit hole of, if we as humans are wanting to push magic further, we do have to push into those higher realms. And we have to let go of our trinkets and our baubles that we do love. And I do love my baubles, don't get me wrong. And if you're going to ask me, Drake, is that true? Do we have to let go of our baubles? I don't know. I don't know. That's why I said philosophical. We can debate it. We can talk about it. We can think about it. We can ponder it. And those are great things to do. We can even exercise it and try it and test it within our personal practice. But I don't think anyone here alive on the planet knows for 100% sure if that's the secret ingredient, if you were. So you do your path. You have your fun. You get your results. And if you're getting the results you want in your life, in your path, and you're happy, keep doing that. I'm happy for you. Because I would never encourage people to do all the stupid stuff I do. That's one reason I like teaching. It's like, all right, so I did all this stupid stuff, and you all have seen on here. I will happily tell you the dumb stuff I've done. Because I don't like these people who get on here and like, I make no mistakes. I know what I'm doing. Look at this shit. That ain't realistic. Everyone makes mistakes. Mistakes are part of the fun. Let's see. Creator, Drake, I want to cook some Southern food. Can you do some kitchen witch videos on Southern food? I reckon I could probably do that. I will admit, Southern cooking, I love me some Southern cooking, obviously. I have to think on which ones to do and how to do it, or work it around, because many of you know I'm working on getting back in shape, trying to get back down to my fight weight, which, by the way, I'm making progress. Can you tell? My face is already looking thinner, even to me. But I have to work it around because I'm only allowing myself, like I'm staying on program and only allowing myself like an actual cheat meal, like once, I think it's every 3 or 4 weeks. My wife has it wrote down. And she's on this with me too. So like currently, like I'm doing like pure carnivore. And then on weekends, like instead of a cheat meal on weekends, I do strict keto. So I'm actually doing this really nice routine where it feels like I'm getting rewarded on weekends, but I'm still on plan. Nice little brain hack there. So I'd have to work it around that, but I could do that. If you guys have Southern recipes you would like me to do kitchen magic video with, leave that in the comments below the live stream. I would love to know which ones you would like to do. And I will begin to try and bob and weave and work those into the plan. And if I have to, I will teach Jade to cook them so she can do them when I can't. Because y'all know Jade loves to do those kitchen witch videos for me or with me. Well, not with me, because Jade, if you're still watching, when you visit, we may have to do a kitchen magic video just to see what shenanigans happen. Whether it'll ever make it to YouTube or not, or whether it's just going to turn into a parody of us throwing flour at each other, I don't know, but we should try it. We should try it. But yeah, I think we can do that. Fried chicken and barbecue. Fried chicken. Oh, yeah, those are both Southern. Fried chicken. Yeah, I think I can do barbecue. I'll do that. That's on my freaking diet. That's why I did brisket. So yeah, we can do us up some barbecue real good. Oh yeah, we can work in some of those barbecue videos. Don't you worry about that. So yeah, we can do those. Fried chicken. I will see about the fried chicken one. Yes, I'll do a kitchen witch video. Yeah. We may actually put the parody video up, even if it turns into an absolute disaster food fight. We may put that up just because. Oh, fried chicken's good. It is. Let's see. Was for 50 minutes. Let's see. I have missed some stuff. I apologize. Funny enough, I knew my mailman. There was a few entities. Yeah. Like all of this is pretty bad. Like where I used to live, like the pizza driver, the Chinese driver, they knew me. Like they really, really knew me well. They would check on how I was doing, make sure I was well. If I hadn't ordered in a while, they'd be like, "Have you been okay? You've been healthy?" So I am that person. Like it's Southern. You kind of get to know people. So I was using like most people because like in the areas I grew up and stuff, people just know you. But most people this day and age don't know their mailman. They don't know. They don't have that, community. And where we just moved, like we're just now really starting to learn. Like our mail lady's freaking awesome. Like she's freaking Wonder Woman. Um, I'm sitting here in the office and I see somebody just coming up the road, like just full on vice gripping a computer desk, walking up my driveway. I was like, what the? And it's the mail lady just hoofing that desk like it was nothing all the way up the driveway. Nice lady too. Nice lady. She actually I actually got to speak with her over a delivery. Really nice lady. So it is doable. Let's see what we got. You are a wealth of knowledge, Drake. Thank you as always. Bye. Angela and Squirrel in 6 minutes. Hey, and thank you very much. I do my best. Is Squirrel here tonight? I've not seen Squirrel pop up here tonight. She's probably hiding around somewhere. Either that or she's up to shenanigans. Angela, are dragons carnivores? Well, yeah, I'd say they're carnivores, but they're also basically incinerators. A dragon will eat anything. They do kind of look weird at us when we're eating like plants. They're like, because they don't get that. It's like if you saw the Lord of the Rings where the elves gave them salad and the dwarves are like, what the heck? They kind of have that. But at the same time, they also do enjoy the whimsical. They enjoy the fact that different things have different textures and different flavors, and they can enjoy those. And at the end of the day, when you really think about it, it makes sense because what they ultimately eat is the energy. Their bodies don't need the nutrients and the processes and the digestions and all this stuff, and they don't have to worry about that. I mean, they can eat steel if they want to. It's not going to affect them. So their metabolism, their dietary needs are different, but I've never seen a dragon that does not love meat. So in that context, they are carnivores. Which, I mean, when you look at their build, their design, their teeth, their claws, they're predators. So that does make sense. I hope that makes some sense, maybe. I like to think they view us as slightly more than mice. Otherwise, I don't think they'd waste time on us. But then again, we might not be mice to them too. It's hard really to sometimes understand a dragon's perspective on us because on one hand, I know that they invest a lot of time and energy in thinking we can do better. They do. Let's be freaking honest. Anyone who's worked with a dragon knows that they will take time and energy and patience to see if humans can do better. At the same time, I also know that dragons look down and realize this is a species that could make itself absolutely extinct tomorrow. And if they do it, so be it. And it's like they would just go on. So there's two sides of that coin that are, at least from a human perspective, very contradicting. Because it's like if something matters so little that if it disappeared tomorrow, you just move on and continue doing what you do. Why would you invest that much time in whether or not you might get it to get its head out of its ass and realize I can do better? I don't know that I could do that. Which I mean, earlier I said, when you betray me, stab me in the back or anything, I'm just done with you. But at the same time, I am a very helpful person. But like the level the dragons take it to, it's hard because I'm not sure we humans have a perspective on that one that we're actually going to be fully to wrap our heads around. I really don't. It's something I will admit I meditate on often and wonder and ponder. And I talk with the rulers and my co-magician about to try and build a understanding of it that I might even be able to clearly communicate one day, hopefully. Because in the grand scheme, we're nothing but at the same time, they look at our potential and they see our potential here. And mind you, they see our potential both as a benefit and they also see the horror that we could become. This they will assure never happens. This they hope us to achieve. But at the same time, we're not even on the radar of getting there yet. And they're still willing to invest the time and energy in us. To me, that is freaking awesome that they have the patience to do that. Because anyone who's talked to me, not where I have to behave, you all know that for all the patience I do have, when it comes to stupid people, I will openly admit I am allergic to stupid people. I don't have patience for it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm sorry. But that, I suppose, is what makes them better than me. I have my flaws. I know I have my flaws. But we'll see one day or the other. And Jade's already throwing clocks at me. Jade is already throwing clocks at me. Squirrel has been very, 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 very busy in life, but also making great progress as well. So there's that. Very proud of Squirrel. We'd be like eating Tic Tacs. I kind of like that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. All right, Jade, yes, throwing clocks at me. Jade, we need to get like we need to get a coffee cup and a pint glass with clocks on it. Put that in the merch store. So, all right. So it has been a long weekend. I should probably go ahead and wind down, get off here, and get ready. What was it? Oh crap! Almost forgot to say this. So I will say this. So looking at the evocation course, I realize I got a lot to film, but at the same time, I keep catching myself in this trap of, did I explain this well enough? Did I put enough here? Did I put enough there? Did I put enough there? Like I'm second guessing if I did it well enough, but at the same time, it's like I don't know if it's well enough if I don't have if the students aren't watching it yet. So I'm going to attempt to do something with this particular course to break this analysis paralysis. I am going to film the things that I know for an absolute fact I need in this course. I'm going to get those filmed. I'm going to get it rounded out. I'm going to get it polished. And I am actually going to open this course with a point and a place for y'all to submit. And as you're working through the course, if something needs more clarification or you feel there needs to be something added to that section, you can message me. Now, this, if you message me, doesn't mean the video is going to pop up. But if enough people are in agreement that this actually needs like this little tidbit here added just to round it out and polish it, we're going to add it. That's the beauty of the way these courses are set up. If I update the course, if I add anything to the course and you bought the course, you get the updates free. That's why I love the setup for this. But I am really getting in my own head on this because evocation is such an important topic. It's such an important skill for the magician, and I don't want to shortchange it. But at the same time, if I don't, like at some point, I just have to like, all right, here's what I got. Otherwise, you guys never get it, do you? So I'm going to be candid and tell you all that I am planning to just open this class with the concept of letting you all know, submit your thoughts as you're going through the course, because those thoughts and opinions are going to help me better round and polish it. And who knows? It may be, there was another course I did this with once, and no one ever used it because everybody's like, it's all here, which is why I'm doing this, because I feel I might be over analyzing and seeking a perfection that isn't needed. But at the same time, I still want to make sure you guys get a key product. You see what I mean? So that's what I'm thinking. That's the best way I can do it. Hope that makes sense. Anyways, everyone, I am going to get off here. I'm going to go bug my wife. I'm going to unwind and relax a little bit. And then I am going to attempt to go to bed because I have a very, 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 very busy week coming up. And we got a lot to get done. And you all have a fantastic week. Keep making progress. Keep moving forward. And remember, failures are an option. Just get up, dust yourself off, learn from the experience, and continue to move forward. All right, everyone, have a wonderful week. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.